Good evening and welcome to Straight to the Point Sports. And we're here today. I'm here with my regular Steve Lopes. And today we have a special guest, Randy Butler, founder and owner of the Butler Basketball Club. Welcome, Randy.
Thank you. What's up, fellas?
What's going on? I've had my eye on you for some time now, wanting to get you on the show. I'm watching just because you live down the street in Rhode Island doesn't make I see what you're doing and I like it. You're keeping the youth engaged. You're doing a lot of things and it shows.
Yeah, it's different nowadays compared to when we were growing up.
Oh yeah,
definitely different. I know. Being in Newport, we always had the Boys and Girls Club. We go outside on the outdoor courts, play a little basketball, not just basketball, football,
all
even
sports,
baseball,
all sports,
yeah,
all sports,
even baseball.
Yes.
Now it's just like seems like there's all sports all year round now. Honestly,
yeah. The regiment now for the kids is so much more intense. Back in the day, we didn't have trainers.
Nope.
We didn't have trainers.
We had the boys clubs.
We had to rely.
teams.
We had to rely on our own personal skills, and what we weren't good at, we had to develop ourselves.
True.
It wasn't that way. Kids today, they're getting trainers at early ages, at like 8, 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They're with a trainer.
And you know what? It's funny because with my kids, my older kids, I brought them to a trainer, but it was at an older age. My younger kids now, I train them, but I also have them with a trainer at a younger age too. Now, like you said, it's different, man. Kids nowadays they're training earlier. They're more athletic, stronger.
Weight training and basketball training.
Yes, it's everything. Just think about it. When you were 7, 8 years old, were you lifting weights?
Man, lifting weights. I didn't even thought, man.
Only want to help dad in the backyard carrying stuff.
You know what's crazy is like all through my basketball career, even into college, I didn't even lift weights.
Yeah, none of us did. It wasn't.
I felt
It was
off your
fun.
shot.
It was fun. Literally, they told you not to do it because it would mess up your shot.
And that's the truth. I tried it. As soon as I started varsity, my coach tried to have me go upstairs and lift weights. I went and did it. Came downstairs to the gym, started trying to shoot jump shots. I couldn't even shoot a jump shot anyway, but that made it even worse.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I'm done with this.
Yeah, it's so much different today. The kids, they have so many more resources in the way of trainers, in the way of AAU travel teams. So we'll talk about this. So when you were coming up in high school in Rhode Island, how many AAU teams were there?
No, it's funny because I don't remember it even being called AAU.
No, I know. No, it wasn't.
It was like just travel teams.
Yes.
And honestly, I played on one. I started probably in maybe my junior year. And then my senior year, I played on one.
So around here, we had one. It was Buddies. Buddy used to come around here, and he would snatch up all the southeastern Massachusetts kids.
Yep.
Anybody who was in the southeastern Massachusetts region, it was Buddies, and then he would take you to Brockton, to Boston, to Rhode Island, and travel with him, and that was it. You look at the travel teams today, it's diluted. There's so many.
It's watered down.
Yes.
So many is watered down.
Yeah.
Back to the Buddies, if I recall, that's probably the best AAU team I ever played against, and the best AAU team out of Massachusetts.
Yeah, well,
ever.
The Buddies used to snag. He used to snag all the kids in this area. Pretty much anywhere from, I'd say, you go. He would grab some kids a little before Brockton, and head south all this way.
I was going to make reference to when he said the best, because I remember Roxbury Titans and Cooper Comets and
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well, let me go back to this, because sometimes I get this mixed up. The best team I ever played against, honestly, and one of you guys from New Bedford is Marcus Wills.
Yes.
Oh, it's family.
Yes.
That was Marcus Wills. Let's see if you guys remember this team: Scooney Penn,
Yep.
Yes.
Wayne Turner,
Yes. Yeah.
Randall Jackson,
Yes.
Chris
So,
Herron.
so all
Oh,
it's
Chris was the
it's
rival.
it's
Bedford Durfee.
it's funny that you should say this because those back-to-back teams, they beat a lot of those guys to get those, to get to the state
Marcus
titles.
junior and senior year.
As luck would have it, they played against all those guys, and it's like I said, it's totally different today. I mean, it's a good thing because it's more structured, and the kids, once you get them, I find it, once you get the kids acclimated to it, it's like second nature. It's like going to practice.
Yeah.
They're ready for it, and it's like just putting it into their regimen. But my original point was, when we were coming up, there wasn't anything of that nature. In the way of the travel teams and in the way of
No budget
of
for that.
trainers. We just,
Where
like
you
I
gonna
said,
get picked up, be there at a certain time, get to the game.
we worked on our skills ourselves.
Yeah. The Boys and Girls Club, like you said, outside playing against older kids. And the best tournament at that time was the Milt Kelly tournament.
Yeah. So which brings us to our next point. Let's talk about a young Randy Butler. Let's talk about Randy Butler as he was coming up.
High school.
We'll start with middle school. Or let's just say your love for basketball. Where did it derive at? Where did you get that feeling that you knew
This was your
that
main
you
sport.
wanted to play basketball?
Yeah.
Well, see, it's funny because actually football and baseball was my number one sport in middle school. Basketball was third. And then as soon as I got to high school, my freshman year, I think that's when it was just took off in my head. Like, I just want to do basketball straight up. No more football. I played a little football. I stopped playing baseball. And then I went to 5-star as a freshman. I made the all-star team as a freshman down there. So that's what actually changed right there. That's what changed. As soon as I made the all-star game, at that time, Dante Bright was down there. Dana Dingorn was down there. Allen Iverson was supposed to show up to that one. But by playing all that talent, you think about it now, everyone got all this AAU going on.
Yeah.
That, you could say that's kind of like AAU, really. One turf for a whole week. In the dorms, you're hanging out with them. You're going against them. You're living with them. You're switching gear.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you guys went to
Oh, yeah.
5-star. You're
Oh, yeah.
switching gear, stuff like that. And that's when I came back home and I was like, you know what? I'm just doing basketball. I'm not doing nothing no more.
Yeah. High school. Where did you go to high school?
Rogers High School. You guys know
Rogers.
down in Newport.
Rogers.
Yeah.
My college roommates went
Rogers.
and played football there.
Rogers High School. What year did you graduate?
93.
Okay. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, he's a youngin. I'm trying to think. New Bedford High School used to play in the Rogers tournament.
Yeah, I lost them all 3 years. This was tournament, all 3 years.
Yeah.
By 1 point.
Yeah.
Every single year,
That
1
was the
point.
tournament everybody looked forward to being.
So Rogers. It's funny because when I was in high school, probably 8 years earlier, we used to have our Christmas tournament, and we used to have it was Bishop Hendricken, Our Lady of Providence. There was another school that used to come, and then we would have Cambridge and Lanton.
Brockton.
No, not Brockton. It would be Cambridge, and Lanton, and Durfee. Those were the teams for that we played against my junior and my senior years. But yeah, so as time went on, they integrated and they went into the Rogers tournament. Speaking of the Rogers tournament, did you ever participate in the dunk contest there?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I lost it. I lost in the my senior year. I tried to do some crazy
wild
exotic
stuff.
dunk, off the wall, bounce, catch it, and then I tried to windmill it, and I missed it. So
Yeah. As time went on and evolved, the tournaments they started integrating a lot of different things in them, dunk contests, which is a good thing. It keeps the crowd engaged, as well as the players. I know probably the coaches weren't too kosher about it because they didn't want no kids getting hurt. But I mean, if you're gonna play and you're gonna go out and you're gonna do what you do, you're not thinking about that. You just go out and you let your talent take over, your natural God-given ability, right?
You got you, man.
This is stuff that you do in the park anyway.
Yeah.
So it's second nature. But the coach sees you doing it. It's like, oh my God, I can't have you getting hurt, right? But yeah, so what was your experience in high school?
My experience in high school, I had a great coach, God rest his soul, Jim Saris. Probably the best X O O's guy I ever met. Easily, hands down. As he died, I got some of his stuff, like his books and everything, and I looked at that and it was like, you talking about having everything to a T? He had it to a T. Freshman year, won the state championship.
Oh.
Sophomore year, won the state championship.
Were you starting freshman year?
I played freshman.
Okay.
Then in sophomore year, I started as a sophomore. We won the state championship. That's what Frank Newsom. Junior year, we lost. It's probably our most talented team ever at Rogers. We had a bomb squad, but we just lost. Free throws killed us.
It happens.
Yeah,
sometimes.
free throws killed us in the semifinals, man. And senior year, we won it.
That's a pretty good high school career.
Yeah, that's 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 is good. 3 out of 4 is great.
Lost in the semis.
Yeah.
Junior year, so
yeah,
could have been there 4 out of 4 years.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 is an excellent turnout.
And then we lucked out by having him because he also set us up very good because we would play a lot of out of state teams.
Well, that's a good thing.
That was huge.
Yeah, it preps you.
Yes, it does.
It preps you.
I'll give you a good instance. Sophomore year, a lot of people probably don't remember this. Tolatine out of New York City. Probably don't remember that, do you?
No.
They were the number 1 team in the nation the year before. Adrian Autry.
Oh yeah, Adrian Autry. Yes.
Adrian Autry.
Yes.
They were the number 1 team. They came down. We played them. We played Hill House out of Connecticut.
Hill House. I remember Hill House.
Yeah, I was in Connecticut 20 years. Yeah.
We played New Bedford in the Christmas tournament.
That's the thing. Your strength of schedule prepares you. And it's not like culture shock.
No, not at all. We snuck into the playoffs my sophomore year, and then we just took off as soon as we got in. That's all you gotta do, get in, and then we just took off, and we ended up beating Hendricken in the semifinals, which was 28-0.
Yeah,
we came in and smacked them by 20. Sorry, Jamal Gomes, if you're watching this.
Yeah. So for anybody who's listening out there, if you'd like to join in on the conversation and talk with Randy, our phone number is scrolling down at the bottom. Phone lines are open, as it says, 774-425-2631. Feel free to give us a jingle, and if you want to conversate or add something to the conversation with Randy. High school, I mean, 3 out of 4, that's hella good.
Yeah, man, that's unheard of. No one's gonna get that again. Not at Rogers, at least.
3 out of 4. I mean, I mean, some people are lucky to get 1 out of 4. And if you go 3 out of 4, that's excellent.
That's a great coach.
Yeah, that is. That's it speaks volumes. Let's jump into college basketball.
That's funny. I went to Becca with Domingo Mello. If you're out there, Dami, what up, man? We had an I squad. Our coach wasn't that great.
No.
Nah, man.
It's the opposite of high school.
Yeah, opposite of high school. Honestly, I was in better shape in high school than I was in college. When I went there, I wasn't even that in shape in college, honestly.
Was it because of the coaching situation? Were you just not into it?
The coach. I was so used to my high school coach being on us, checking in on us, making sure we're doing this and that. The college coach wasn't like I barely seen him and everything.
Mm.
So we actually did captain's practices and everything ourselves and everything. And then, like, I can honestly say that. And then I just transferred out of it after a year, went back to Rhode Island, and is what it is.
Yeah. No, I mean, everybody has that one coach in which they could say, the light went on, and everybody has their favorites. Not all your coaches that you come across are going to touch you in that certain way that's going to get the best out of you.
And that's the truth. Like, he was I had other coaches that I respect and I love, and they know that too. Like, I had coaches that toughened us up.
Yeah.
Want us to get ready to be tough when we're playing against teams that want to try to bully us and stuff like that. I had coaches that were a little easier, but still, they were still honest on me, making sure I'm doing the right things. And I still talk to those coaches to this day.
Yeah. It's funny because when you think about all your life experiences, players that you played with, coaches that coached you, and even people that you competed against, as you get older, you always listen to people talk about, as you get older, you get wiser. You take all life experiences and you put them together, and when you become a coach or a mentor, anything that, and you take all those life experiences and you just, like, it's like a snowball, you put them all in, and you use them.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do with my coaching. Like, honestly, I try to make sure that they're going to be tough. I want them to be very smart. Also know when they're doing something wrong, try to correct it. I'm a tough coach, honestly. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm a tough coach. Not just boys, with girls too, honestly.
We got a phone call. Let's see who it is. Okay. Oh, they hung up. Whoever you are, call back. Whoever you are. But yeah, it's important. It's important as a coach. Kids nowadays, kids are, I don't know how to put it. Kids are, they're wise in some ways, in other ways not. And the kids, it's important. I found, I just started coaching a year ago, freshman basketball, but I through my short experience, I see that you went right when you go in, you gotta lay the law down, and you have to be consistency, because the minute you're not, those kids, they'll call you on it. Well, why didn't you do that with such and such? And why didn't you do? Well, he did it. That's the first thing they say. So the thing that I took out of learning from coaching is to be to be stern, yet obviously, but yet fair, but be consistent.
That's true. That's definitely true. It's funny because I coach my own kids. I coach them to a certain extent, and then I'll let them go. But I feel you got to be harder on your own kid than the rest of the kids, because if the rest of the kids see that you're hard on your own kid,
Absolutely.
What's that going to tell them?
Yeah,
and
they got to work just as hard.
Exactly. And trust me, I'm hard on my kids. Like, I bang heads with my kids, honestly, but it's only to make them a better player and a better person, honestly.
Yeah. And as we know, in sports is great for kids because it teaches you so many traits. It teaches you responsibility. It teaches you, brotherhood, teamwork. There's a lot of life lessons in sports, and kids. I think the greatest thing for kids is to get kids early into sports, because it teaches them discipline.
And that's a great.
Plus 15083861771.
We got a phone call.
WMB1 Radio.
Yeah, B Mags. This is trying to speak to her online.
Who's this?
This is BJ.
Who?
Yeah, this is BJ.
Oh, BJ. Oh, what's going on?
BJ.
BJ Costa.
Okay, all right. What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Good.
I'm Taunton.
What's going on?
Nothing much. Randy,
What's
one
up?
of the best, one of the best that came out of Rhode Island. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So give us a story. Give us a story. Something that something that you could share with us that'll be like, damn.
You know, I remember going to Newport, coming from Taunton, going to Newport, playing him 1-on-1.
One.
He said, "Who won? Who was the winner?"
Who won? Who won? Shoot, first time he grabbed the ball, shot a 3-pointer in my face and stared me down. No, and then he didn't even know I was left-handed. I came back with a crossover on him and scored. After that, that was the best battles going.
I remember that. How you doing, BJ?
You know, Kelly tournaments. I seen him dunk on somebody. I seen plenty of people come through there and him beast on them.
Yeah.
And just for all you guys out there, I can say right now, I know exactly what you're talking about, BJ. Is that I think they were called BABC or Buddy? Or BABC at the time, right?
It depends because some of the kids played for BABC. Some of the kids played for Buddies. It varied. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I can't remember what they were in that tournament. I can tell you right now, actually, on that team. And that dunk, my coach had it on film, actually. It was Mickey Curley.
Oh,
Oh,
Curly.
Boston,
Yes,
Yes.
Bobby Curly and all of them. Yeah,
Yes.
the Curly brothers.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jim Tavaz, all of them was back there. BABC, Shelbourne,
Yep.
all of them was there.
That's I tell people that to this day that's the best AAU team on the map, hands down. I have not seen an AAU team better than that. That team was loaded.
Yeah. So, like I said, the PABC team back in the day. So I don't. Obviously, you lived in Rhode Island, but was a true testament of it. They used to have the Bay State game, called the Bay State.
I remember.
All right, the Bay State game. You were split up by region, and obviously this region was the Southeastern Mass. You know, so you would have to go to a designated gym, try out, and then you made the team, and then you go do the whole shenanigans, the opening ceremonies for BABC, get your jackets and everything, your uniforms. So the Southeastern Massachusetts team used to play. It was always the team that was the toughest was the Metro Boston team, which ultimately had pretty much all the BABC players. You could see the height disparity. You would literally, our biggest guy would be like 6'4", 6'5". They'd have like a 6'10" guy. You know what I'm saying? And they'd have a few of them. So yeah, it was it was totally different. But that's where you mainly witnessed it a lot, was in the basic games, because you had to stay within your region, and that's how it worked. It was no travel. You know what I'm saying? It was no travel team. You had to play in the region that you were set in, and that's how it worked.
And if I'm correct, too, I think that's how AAU started.
Yeah.
In your own state.
Yeah.
You play outside of your
Yeah, but what happens is you get sponsors. That's a game changer, right? You get sponsors. That's a game changer. Yeah, that changes everything. It changes the dynamics.
Which team they play for based on who their sneakers sponsor is. Yes. Team Adidas or Team Nike, that determines who you play for.
Yes, it's like I said, it's a game changer. But yeah, so that's where we witnessed. We were talking about the Buddies or BABC or whatever the case is. Back then it might have been the Titans and all that. But they were few and far between like they are now. So many. Just in this area, probably it's probably like 5 or 6 in the New Bedford area. That gives you some type of clue as to how many AAU teams there are.
I got New Bedford kids on my team.
Yeah.
My AAU.
Yeah.
I love them too.
Well, like anything else, kids sometimes they'll find a way. Um, you know, a lot of the kids like playing with their friends.
Yeah, sure.
They like playing with their friends. If they hang out with a certain friend and a friend's going, as long as they're good enough, they might hop on that squad with them.
Yep.
But yeah, that's what it is. BJ, any more stories before we let you off the line?
Nah, brother, I just want to shout him out. Doing with the kids, man. I'm listening to y'all's podcast. I'm digging it, man. I appreciate everything, man. Randy, keep doing you do, man.
Thanks, BJ, man. Nice talking to you.
All right, man. Thank you for calling in. Greatly appreciated, BJ.
All right, brother.
All right, have a good day.
All right.
So, Randy, talking about your high school career, whether you were playing for Rogers or playing on the All-Star tournament teams, AAU, whatever, who do you remember as the toughest player you played against in high school? Because you had played against a slew of them, but is there one that really impressed you? Like, damn, this dude's unreal.
During high school games,
High school or the AAU tournaments, like, who was the toughest matchup for you that you remember? Like, oh man, this dude, like, whether you went head to head or the best player on the other team.
I can give you a couple, like high school and then one AAU for sure. Mm-hmm. A couple in high school. Curtis McCants went to St. Ray's. He went to, I want to say, George Mason, and led the nation in assists as a freshman. When he another kid, Randy Smith, tough, very tough.
Where was he
went to Mount Pleasant out of Providence. Jamal Gomes out of Hendricken was tough. He was tough. I had to guard him right away as a sophomore. That was my number one. My coach says, yeah, he was like, "Yo, you're guarding him. You're young, so you can."
Were you like the same size? It wasn't a big size disparity, like.
Yeah, like I was probably a little taller. But he was a point guard. I wasn't a point guard. I was just so athletic.
Yeah,
I was so athletic.
The athletic ability.
It was. Let's see. Who else gave us a couple dudes on New Bedford? Honestly, I just can't remember their names. They were tough. You think about it.
Well, the years you're talking about, Jeff, Marcus Wills and Jeff Clark.
Yup, Jeff Clark.
We saw Jeff Correa's up there right now.
Fufu.
Fufu.
You got to think about it. Fufu.
Yeah.
Who else?
Rudy Bolger. They had a nice squad. They were all the same year and came up.
I love you, Rudy, but I don't remember you on the basketball.
But no, he didn't. His sport was football. Football and baseball was he
just a good athlete.
There's a lot of people sleep on little small Rhode Island. There's a lot of kids that I played against that were just tough, man. The whole high schools, the Centrals.
Yeah.
And when I played AAU, actually he was tough, and then we beat him. Zendon Hamilton, you guys remember him with St. John's, 6'10" out of Long Island. He was tough, man. He was tough. And then actually going back to high school again, I would say besides Curtis McCants, my toughest I think would be Jalil Roberts from St. Anthony's. St. Anthony, they were number 4 in the nation. They came up and played New Bedford.
Yes.
They played New Bedford.
I remember that.
Jalil Roberts, he went to the University of Wisconsin. Left-handed, 6'6", could shoot, could defend.
That's tough when you get a 6'6" guy.
They also had Rashad McLeod on that team, 6'10", that went to Duke.
Yeah,
I had to cover him a little bit in the game, so we held him to 10 points. But Jalil Roberts was tough, man. Like, he had me sweating like the first 2 minutes in the game, and no one else did that.
All right, so we spoke a little bit about your high school, college. Obviously, you've discovered your love for training kids, coaching kids, which leads us to what you're doing now. Can you talk about and give us some information about the Butler Basketball Club?
All right, me and my wife Janetta, we just figured we start a club 2016. because our kids were playing basketball. I didn't want to travel. I took my older kids to play AAU. I always traveled. I got tired. I ain't gonna lie. And then I also knew there was no AAU on the island, Greenland Island. So I was like, you know what? I went to one of my good friends, Kevin Hagan, and I told him what I wanted to do. And then he was like, let's do this. So we started it in 2016 we were supposed to start with 2 teams, actually. My 2 sons, that was it. But as soon as the word got out, it ended up being like 8 teams right away. Like within 2 weeks, it was 8 teams. Then it was 10 teams. So I had 10 teams right off the bat. And I'm like, damn, I got to find Jim for this.
Yeah.
And then I got to find coaches. But the coaches were easy, actually, at that time. They all wanted to come out, high school coaches, freshman coaches, had female coaches. My first team, like everyone seems to do with the guys, my first team was an all-girls team.
Really?
Yeah, all-girls team. They were tough. Like, at one time, they had the most championships for my AAU program. So now my 8th grade team, they have the most championships. But the girls were tough. They, like I said, I'm a tough coach. I had a mean. I always told them, I was like, yo, just be pit bulls out there. Just do what you do. Go out there. Don't let no girls take nothing from you, such and such. They won it in AAU. Then they got to the middle school. 4 of the girls ended up, they were split in middle schools. We have 3 middle schools. So my whole AAU team, honestly, was split in all 3 middle schools. It's funny, but one of the teams ended up winning the state. They ended up winning the state in middle school. And that's from playing AAU so long that the competition was probably easier for them.
Yeah.
I told them that's how it works.
Yeah.
AAU is going to be tougher than it will be in school. And then they all went to high school. Every single girl on that same team that I had 12 girls. Every girl started varsity as a freshman.
That's another benefit of AAU is having kids play together. Straight through. We had about a month and a half ago, we had the Wareham coach on here, and so Wareham, they basically just won back-to-back state titles, and them kids, Dom posted pictures. Yes, and them kids have been together since they were yay high. And they've played all the way up, the same kids, the core kids, and that's huge, and that's an advantage too. Only when they stay together. A lot of teams, with AAU and prep schools, a lot of kids get plucked.
Yeah,
a lot of kids get plucked,
and that's the problem with AAU. Honestly, I think the middle school you could be okay. Once you get to high school, then it's a problem. Yeah. Honestly, I don't want to do high school. I let the coaches, if their team is going to high school and they want to do high school, I'll let them do it. But right now I'm doing my freshman team, which is the first time I did a high school for my AAU, because they've been together for a while. Just like my 8th graders, they've been together for a while. And both of these 2 teams right now, for this spring, the 9th graders lost 2 games, which we shouldn't have lost. But they won every other game through the whole spring so far. The 8th graders haven't even lost the spring yet.
Nice.
So that's from playing from so many years from before till now. And we got a couple young teams now that we're building up right now. It's not about wins or losses right now, I tell them. It's about developing you guys, getting better each year, every year.
Building up.
When you go to middle school, make your middle school team. Get better at middle school, come back to AAU, work out in the summers. Do fall AAU is not as tough as the spring. So if you could do that, continue bringing them on and on, year after year after year, that team's going to be good in the future, man. But like you said, and then you got those people out there that want to, take kids, tell them this and that, and that, and the parents
sell them false
parents
dreams.
Believe them, such and such.
As long as they got money to invest.
And then you got parents that don't want to wait. They want it to be a sprint instead of a marathon.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you got a lot of parents that are trying to live vicariously through their kids.
That's the number one thing.
Exactly. I mean,
that's why I couldn't get into coaching.
1 year, I've witnessed it.
That's the number one thing.
2 years, I should say. I just finished my second year, and the conversations that you have, or you hear through parents, it's just some of it's just not reality.
That's the problem. Like, a lot of these parents don't understand, and that's why I like to take my kids. Like, I'm taking my kids down this year to Florida, so they can see reality. Like, you got to
Get out the area.
You got to get out.
That's right. You got to get out the area.
Got to get out in New England.
Yeah.
I'll give you one story. Like, my younger son, everyone knows that. My younger son, I post a lot about him, and my other son too. But my younger son, he had the benefit of playing at an early age. He started at 4. He didn't play, but he sat there and watched for like a year and a half to 2 years behind his brother, my other son. So sitting him down, he watched. And at 4 years old, you think about it, most kids are like hot potatoes. That's what it is. And that's what he was. So when we broke him apart, I didn't know what to expect from the younger one. As soon as we started our first game with him, he just took right off. He took right off. And I'm like, damn, he took off this fast. So I was very surprised. But he sucked in what he saw out there. Yep. And then he started developing at a fast pace. So sitting him down for that 2 years helped him a lot. Parents don't understand that.
Yeah.
They want their kid to play.
Right in there,
Instead of let him develop. And then onto the story, like, he played for the first 2 years. After he started playing, then a year later, we're at a camp. So I take him to a camp because I want to see how good he really is against other kids his age. Yeah. Because up in here in New England, a lot of people start at 10 years old. They start in 10U. They were years ago. Now they're starting to get everyone's starting to get a little smart. So I wanted to see where he stand down there in Virginia. And he went to a camp. He stood out. And a coach from Georgia was like, yo, I'm starting a third grade team. That's where he started AAU in third grade. Like, he started in third grade. He started in third grade, Atlanta team. We went to about 14 tournaments. They probably won like 10. But by us doing that, traveling, like, we were in Texas. People were like, you're crazy. I was in Texas. I was in like North Carolina. I was in Atlanta multiple times. We was in South Carolina. We even went to Ohio. And by him playing against these kids, like, he held his own, definitely. He held his own, like, hands down. But you get to see other kids outside of New England. You're seeing they start earlier than us. I can tell you that right now. I'm gonna tell everyone that, and not just basketball. What we witnessed down there is these kids have trainers at first grade. Yeah, we're seeing this down south everywhere we go. Yeah. At first grade, like, they're training in first grade in every single sport. So when we came back up here, I start telling parents, we're behind. Yeah, we're behind. Yeah. And they look at me and they laugh at me. I'm like, okay, you'll see. Now, some of these parents that we're gonna go down the line, they're gonna see now. They're gonna be like, whoa. Be like, you think your kid's working out? Is he really working out? Yeah. Yeah. But it'd be good. It's gonna be good for our organization. It's gonna be good for our kids.
Exposure.
Exactly.
That's what you want. As kids growing up early, the crew that I used to hang out, we always wanted to play outside the city. We knew what we were all
against
about.
Everybody every day.
We knew. You know everybody.
Now you want to play together and say,
you know everybody, what everybody does, what everybody's strengths and weaknesses. So you want to go outside the city. You want to travel outside the city, play in different leagues outside the city. So you can play against people who you don't know or who may be better than you. So you can elevate your talent level.
And that's funny because, like I say, Providence was always talked about because they have talent. We know Providence. And then New Bedford was talked about. For me growing up, it was always New Bedford and Providence. Always. Yeah. And Boston, of course. Yeah. But you didn't think about Connecticut or nothing like that.
No. Being here in New Bedford, we were fortunate to have Peter Brito, who developed the shootouts down the South End, where he brought teams from all over the country. Mm-hmm. It was great. It was every 4th of July, you would see top talent.
Even out of the country.
Yes. Internationally, you would see top talent. Every year, you could always count on the 4th of July. And, obviously, Brian Rudolph has picked it up. and he's doing the same thing. But it's great to see talent from different states.
Shoot, I remember Mousy McFadden coming down from New York. And I was like, well, then he went to Cleveland State, and I was like, well, we saw him play right here in the tournament.
You see so many different people come down and play, and you're like, oh, that one's good, but then you see the talent that comes from out of state, and you're like, not so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's good for kids. I like AAU in that aspect. It has its pros, it has its cons. But I like the idea of them being able to get out of their out of their own state, out of their city, and to go and participate against other kids. That's definitely good, because now, like you said, you can gauge.
You can gauge where you're at, and then the parents engage.
That's most important.
That's what an eye opener.
Yeah, that's the reality.
Eye opener.
That's the reality check. It's a reality check, because let's face it, you get parents, like you said, as soon as you put them down, off and running. They want them. They want. And some kids, to be frank, just aren't ready.
No,
they're not ready.
No.
But the parents are. The parents are ready.
Everyone develop at a different speed.
That's right. And like I said, AAU has its pros and its cons. And this is the time we live in. And us here, sitting here, we didn't have what they have now, so we have to adapt to it.
Yeah,
we have to adapt to it, because it's here, it's today. Yes, it's here and today, and it's only becoming more. It's only at every turn you look, it's AAU. It's AAU. So
I'm dying to get your take. I don't mean to interrupt, but while I still got it in my head, I'm dying to get your take on compare the philosophy of the players when we were coming through compared to the commitment and drive of the kids that are out there today. What's the major differences with the way the kids approach the game when you played as opposed? And one thing I'm saying, like our ability, we wanted to play all day, every day. We ate basketball, slept basketball. So I felt like our commitment was greater, because we just all, like Ryan was saying, we wanted to play out of town. We wanted to play against the best. We wanted to see where we measured up. And I don't know if I see that today. I feel like the kids have more to go, but I don't think they ate, slept, and were committed to basketball like we were.
That's definitely true. That's 1,000% true.
And that frustrates me, because they're more talented physically and more gifted, and they don't have the same drive. And I want to choke these kids sometimes,
Yeah. So growing up, like you said, like I was school, Boys and Girls Club, Boys and Girls Club, Boys and Girls Club. Lights weren't on yet. I'd be at the outdoor basketball.
We used to climb the pole and turn the lights back on to play.
Like, you can't do that in Newport.
Monty's Park. And
so we would go from, like, we had 2 Boys and Girls Clubs. We'd have a downtown one, and then we'd have like the Hill Boys and Girls Club, which is in our project. So we would go from the downtown Boys and Girls Club, get on the van, go back to the Hill Club, play again. And that's what we did. And then we just want to play 24/7. Nowadays, kids, they, you ask them, like, I just asked my kids this last week, like, how much you guys work on? Exactly. And I was like, how long?
Work on
what
your
do you
game.
do? What do you do, right? And one kid was like, yeah, I worked out for a half hour. I was like, you think that's enough? He's like, nah. I was like, you're only saying that because I just asked you. I'm like, you think about it, like a half hour or an hour. That's not enough.
Yeah,
it's not enough today. Not today. Not the way these athletes are.
No,
not at all. Like I can say, my 2 boys, they're workaholics. Like they're workaholics.
It's built in them.
They're workaholics. There's times where, like last night, I'll give you a good instance. My son Julian, he's outside. It's 9:45 at night shooting a hoop, and we're like, you gotta come in the house. You got school tomorrow. You can't wake up the neighbors. So that's the drive. My other son, we just came back from basketball practice, but they have the drive. Like, I try to tell people, they think I'm crazy. I'm like, nah, man. And they think I force them. No, I don't force them. But I told them, if you're going to do this and you want to be serious, you got to be serious about this.
You got to invest in yourself.
Yeah. I think, we've touched on this with a lot of the people who come through. When we talk about the youth today, they have a lot of distractions.
Yep.
They have a lot of distractions. So let's be frank. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. That's one of the biggest problems. Electronics, with social media. Everybody they're like, they want that. They want that. They want to be able to, to play the video games,
Yep.
to do the social media,
taken
the
away from their
TikTok,
drive.
and those things are huge distractions. I tell the kids, as soon as you come in the gym, that phone better go in the book bag, and it better not come out again. It better not come out again. So when they take water breaks, I don't even want to see you going next to your phones.
Yeah, they're afraid to miss a text.
I don't want to see you going next to your phones. If you do, the team is running for it. That's my rule.
That's nice. That's nice.
I hold them all accountable. One guy screws up. Listen, we come out as a team. We go out as a team. So one guy screws up, everybody pays for it. And that's how I from day one. I'm like, listen, we're a team. We move together as a team. We do everything together. We win together. We lose together. We practice together. We play together. And we're one group. We move together as a group. No, there's no individuals here.
Nope.
I don't care how good you are or how bad you are. We're moving collectively as a team, and that's what I try to get across. But the kids today, I firmly believe the distractions with the electronics. That is huge.
That's big.
Because just think about it, right? 30 years ago, I'd say even 20 years ago, you could, any one of these, surrounding areas, you could go to a basketball court, packed
with kids.
You go try that now, and like now's like the ideal time because it's cool. Like a day like yesterday, you're talking about like Monty's, United Front, Buttonwood. Those parks were so inundated with people waiting, and there was waiting lines. Kids today,
the kids were invested,
and we didn't even have back then. The lights wouldn't even go on. The kids now, the lights are on 24/7. They're on 24/7.
They're not taking advantage.
And they're not taking advantage.
They got brand new. Our courts weren't in the shape they are.
Oh
now.
yeah, no.
We'd be playing grass. Be growing up at half court.
Yeah.
The rims bent.
I'm not out that much because I'm too busy, but I know by hearing, like, a lot of the kids in Newport don't even be out in the courts either.
Yeah, it's like
frustrating.
that.
We drive around. Let's go catch a couple of kids playing.
It's
never nobody else.
It's the kids. It's all the kids. It's not just in a particular area. I like I said, I could pick any park that we used to play, and it used to be a hot spot. We can go by, and there'll be a handful of kids, maybe. So yeah, it's just they have a lot of distractions today, and it takes away from a lot of their drive. We didn't have those distractions back then. So, but once again, we're in a different time and a different age, so we have to acclimate to their ways of how they come up, and keep that in mind.
I will say that there's a little positive to that, like especially is it's funny because you think about it. We went to a CP3 camp, I think, and they had like a agent there, so on. And at that time, he was talking, and you would think that they told him to take the phones down and everything, but the guide said, no, let your kids post videos and stuff like that. Because it's on social media. They don't have to, they can be in California.
Oh yeah.
Think about that. They can be in California and they can see you. So a lot of these kids are posting it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're getting seen, even though they're not really. Think about it.
Oh, there's positive.
There's positive to it.
Yeah,
and it's just like I go back to another thing when we talk about high school now, and the same thing we're talking about before and then now.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. College coaches don't have to go to high schools no more.
No.
You have to be a top 50, a top 100 guy for a college coach to go to your high school. Why? Because they got these AAU events now.
Yeah.
Every
They
game
don't
is
need
filmed.
to.
Somebody
These
sent
live,
the tape.
that they got the tape, and then you got these live
subscribe
events.
to it.
You got these live events.
Just about every gym, you go into, they stream their own sports. So it's back in the day, you would literally have to go scout someone. Now you just everything's at the touch of
just by click a button right there.
You go on there and boom, you can type in New Bedford High versus Rogers, and up it comes.
High school network. You can say watch the game.
Yeah.
You can go back and watch every game recorded.
Yeah.
Shit, we didn't have that one.
Yeah. It once again, it has its pros and it has its cons.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just we're in a different time, a different age. We have to, like I said, we have to acclimate to the kids now.
But there's two things that I want to bring attention. We just talked about one. To me, the big difference was the work ethic, because I don't think the kids worked as hard as we did, because we had so much, because there wasn't those outlets you just brought up. The only way we could prove ourselves was to go out and play against the best. And then somebody would notice you. I remember playing against big, a couple of big name players. I used to be like, I know they came to see him, but I want to show them what I can do. And that, like iron sharpened iron when you play. I don't think the kids really care. They don't have no pride in if they win or lose too, as long as they look good on the court. I got the nice sneakers. I almost wanted to throw a kid off the bus one day when we were coming home from high school because they lost by 20. And he's happy and celebrating. I'm like, there was no talking on the bus if we lost.
Yeah.
The upperclassmen would beat the hell out of you. Oh, you lost. You got no reason to be celebrating. And this kid's talking about, yeah, we lost by 20, but did you see my dunk? You got 7 points. And I'm like, they're priding themselves on the wrong things. It seems more individual. They want to look good for the cameras. They want to post those videos of them looking good, but they don't have the pride to go out there and what's important. I want to win. I want to work on my game because this guy got the best of me last time. I can't wait to play against him again because I want to get.
It's almost like they're more. It's like a happy shell shock. Oh, I'm playing against this guy. Oh, this guy's good. Such and such.
I'm like, oh, I like that name, but I'm not intimidated by you.
I'll give you a small story. Like that team I said that I played at Milt Kelly with Marcus Wills and all them. That dunk. Actually, we played them that Saturday night. I remember the game totally to this day. We played them Saturday night, Friday night. Just to give you a good instance. They were beating a team at halftime, and I'm not even exaggerating. 107-7.
7?
Yes, the 7. We walk in, and then Keith Edwards, if you're out there, you can call in and confirm this. We walk in, I look, and I see everyone on the team. I'm like, oh, damn, we got killing them. I'm like, yo, it's not going to happen. Come on, man. We play you. And this is at halftime. They all turn around and like, who are you? I was like, I'm a brother from the Boys and Girls Club of Newport. It's not going to happen tomorrow. So they're like, all right. This guy's talking about hoops. We go in, and Keith had this on tape. We go in the next day, we play him, right? Honestly, dead serious. We're up at halftime because I'm not scared of them. Who are they?
Yeah,
who are they? I already played against them.
That's how you have to play.
I always want to beat someone that was known better than me, favorite, or getting all the looks or whatever you want to. I felt that way. I'm like, all right, these guys doing whatever. So that's what happened. I went in there. I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't care what you guys are doing. Like, we don't care. And we went in there. We're up at halftime, and matter of fact, it was Leo, so it had to be the ABC.
Yeah, Leo Capillo.
And at halftime, he's cussing them out because they're losing to us.
Yeah.
And second half, it was a different game, but we went in there, came from the Boys and Girls Club. Our whole team was just about from the project anyway. So we're like, yo, it is what it is. This ain't nothing for us.
Yeah, go on play.
We ended up getting beat, but you know what? We got respect.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
I can tell you that. And I went right out, and that's why I dunked on Mickey Curley. I remember I got a text because I got in his face. It was like, anyone with me is going to get banged on. That's how it's going to work.
Yeah, well, that's how it's supposed to be.
He was like, what, 6'7"?
No, he was like 6'9".
He was
like
good.
250.
And he had the size.
He was like 250.
Yeah. So, we talked about, obviously, about your early life, college, high school, college. We talked a little bit about, your basketball foundation. Something that comes to mind. Obviously, we're friends. We've known each other for a long time. March 2019. Can you tell us about the accolade in which you received via the Boston Celtics?
That's funny because it's gonna have a little back AAU behind it too. I got voted Coach of the Year for the Youth Coach of the Year for the Boston Celtics, which was a great accomplishment, man. Honestly, it felt really good, man. So we got to go up there, sit on the floor seats for the.
I remember the pictures.
Basketball game. We got to go backstage, walk back there, see Jason Tatum, everyone. And then I got to talk with Brad Stevens for about a good, it was 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it. We were just talking about, he asked what I did, what year I graduated, and I asked him what year he graduated. And it's funny because then it comes back to that AAU. Brad Stevens played that.
Really?
Yes. Yes, we talked about
All
it.
full. It comes all full circle.
Yeah, it comes full circle. We talked about that. And then after that, you know, it was just hand in hand. And then, you know, yeah. And now, honestly, I do a lot of Celtic clinics now, like Celtic camps. Like I did Jason Tatum, I did Williams already, and this year I haven't figured out which one we're gonna do yet. But we're doing another one, and I actually enjoy it, man. You know, I love working with the kids, man.
What age groups do you work with? Is it just your kids' age, or are you going? I know you said you coach girls. Are you coaching kids from 10U all the way up to high school?
So my AAU program, we got 10U all the way up. So I can't coach every team. That's
Yeah, you can't be there.
That's too much.
You got the white
But
coach on one
I-
team, you coach
but
the other team.
I try to help them out, give them some influence if they ask, or if I see something I can get for practice. But even I try to watch all my teams play on the weekend, so I can see what's going on, so I can give them some pointers and stuff like that. But we like I said, we have like 10U, but on my 10U I have a lot of younger kids. Like I even got like a 6-year-old. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, why not? Start them young.
Start them young. Yeah.
Start them young. Why not?
Off and
Playing
running.
kids
Bring-
3 and 4 years
Exactly.
older than them.
Because before you know it, the high school kids are going to be gone. Then what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Me, in my situation, I got my kids. Hopefully they're going to go to college and play basketball. I'm going to do that. I'm going to still keep the program and everything, but I run it, or run it, the other coaches coach, because, you know, and that's one of the biggest problems right now is you got to find coaches.
Yeah.
You got to find coaches, and if you don't find coaches, then you can't have a program.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's the biggest thing. And the coaching thing is tough too, because especially if you get coaches that are older. When I say older, I'm an older. I consider myself an older coach. You know, kids look at me, and you talk about JV coach and varsity coach. There's probably a 20, close to 25 years age difference. You know, the kids are looking at me like, "Who's this guy with the beard, white hair?" You know, nobody knows me. You know.
Old enough to remember playing days.
And so a lot of the kids, I had to say, okay, you need to refer to. There's a couple of kids that I knew their dads. This was, you know, refer to your dad. Your dad will know when I played, what I did, you know, whatever the case may be. It's like I said, it's one of those things that we had, you know, you have to. I didn't know what to expect. But in your case, just want to congratulate you officially on such a great achievement, because what I didn't mention was that in March 2019, it was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was out of New England, correct?
Yes.
It just wasn't Rhode Island.
No.
It wasn't Mass. It was all of New England.
New England.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, we're not talking about just Rhode Island. We're talking about you know, all New England, all the states that make up New England. So that's huge. And to be whittled down, and you know, to be, you know, the one that's hundreds, if not thousands of coaches. So that's a great and a huge accomplishment. And like I said, you know, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's huge.
It was definitely one of my top 5 best things that happened to me. It's just, you know, like I said, I like working with the kids, man. Better for me to work with them and stress myself out than them being on the streets. I can tell you that right about now.
Yeah.
It's crazy right now. You think about that, man. Like, these kids, they need something to do.
Yes. They stay busy. They definitely need to stay busy. But yeah, as I said, you know, that's a testament to your fruits of labor, everything that you've done, and to be recognized for your efforts, you know, and everything that you put into it. You know, it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
It's a good
and
thing.
then a little thing that we do different in a lot of the AAU programs, we do a lot of community service.
That's good.
We do a lot
That's
of
a lost-
community
lost
service. That's the very lost part.
Yeah.
Like, and people see that and they want to do something.
They want to
Yes.
give back.
They want to give back. I'll
Yeah.
give just a good prime example. Like I haven't put this out. This is the first time I'm gonna put this out. It'll be out on Facebook soon though. My Butler basketball kids are gonna work the PGA tour
Oh, nice.
down in Newport.
Nice.
So they're gonna see.
Yeah.
They're gonna see that. We're gonna June 10th. Thinking about 100 of our Butler kids. We're gonna go see Cam Park.
Nice. Nice.
Mohegan. Some of them will
Nice.
be on. I'll have about 40 of them on the court.
That's nice.
It's all about, and if the kids see that you're doing community service, hopefully they're gonna do it when they get a little older.
Yes.
So hopefully they're gonna
Right
follow
down.
us.
Yes. Yes.
So
Exactly.
yeah, we do a lot of community service. Community events. And you know what? That's like the best part.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
part.
Like you said, it teaches them. Like, yeah, okay, well, we suppose, like you said, it's a lost art. It teaches them that they can give something, that they can also give their time, and in return, they get to see the fruits of their labor by, hey, I seen them kids out there, doing X, Y, Z.
And not just basketball.
I want to sponsor them.
There you go.
I want to sponsor them. They're doing a good deed.
Even if they don't want to sponsor, they want to donate.
Yes, exactly. So it teaches the kids, responsibility. It also teaches them to do something good in the way of their community or outside of their community. And like you said, it keeps them busy too. Keeps them busy because you got to keep these kids nowadays engaged. You have to keep them.
Like we our kids get out of school like June. That next Monday, already had a summer league.
Yeah.
Already. So you really don't have no time. You're gonna get in a summer league, and our summer league
People
stays back.
invested.
Our summer league stays back. We have like 200 kids in our summer league.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're going from a couple days out of school, and they're gonna play in the summer league, and then we go to summer league till about August 1st, right before football stops. And before you know it, some of the kids are in football, and then before they know it, they're back in school.
Yeah.
They're back in school.
Yeah. It's that's the thing with like you said in the beginning, sports is just, it used to be seasonal once upon a time, once upon a day. It's 24/7 now. It's just on to the next. Do you have anything this upcoming weekend?
Actually, you know what? I do got something coming up this weekend. It's a touch. I might tear up a little bit, but I got a golf fundraiser. I don't have it, but my best friend Marvin, as some of you guys know,
We played
fundraiser
together.
Friday golf tournament. So that's very important to me. I got to do that. That's tomorrow, actually. It's tough,
Yeah,
tough. Everyone knows that. That's real tough. And then Saturday's his birthday too, so this weekend's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough one for me. I've been holding it in, but try to do the best I can. But
Yeah,
Marv.
Marv was a good dude, man. He played. We beat you guys.
You guys cheated.
BBA.
You guys cheated.
We won. Yes. He was a beast on the court. Humble, very humble guy.
Let me cut you off real quick. If Marvin would have played all 4 years in high school, I would have had 4 champions, hands down. He only played 1 year, my senior year.
Yeah, he was a difference maker because the prior year we needed a body like him. We had a bunch of greyhounds, but we didn't have that guy that could just post you up at any given time, defend well, and do all the dirty things as well as all the things that he did. We had a bunch of greyhounds. We just ran, and we needed that one guy. Once we got him, it was great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, as soon as I remember those summer leagues. I'm like, man, Mr. Bird will just, if you're out there, Mr. B, did me dirty.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, the AAU circuit is, it's in full effect. My daughter just took, she's kind of behind, but I'm pretty much every weekend out there with her. AAU, travel teams. She plays for Mr. Berger.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where I'm all over the state.
You do a lot. People don't realize you do a lot of traveling.
Traveling every week, just about every week. Every week.
Like I said, we got my son when he was playing with that Atlanta team. I was tired. Man. We did that for like 2 years straight, and it was good for him because he got to play against his age, see where he's at, and definitely we saw where he's at. But when he's up here, I can have him play up to grade.
Yeah, that's good.
And the other one, Julian, he's coming into his own. So those two together are like, I call them Bam Bam and Dennis the Menace.
That's good.
My sport friend and Derek Miller, his father was a legendary football coach at Rogers.
Yes.
And
yes.
I went to college with Derek at Bridgewater State. Matter of fact, we'll be watching the Celtics game later on down the street.
G. Miller, the legend. Yeah, his dad's a legend down there, man.
Yep, his dad was a legendary coach at Rogers.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. That was my guy. Derek will tell you. Yeah, Mr. Miller was my guy, man.
We'll talk about. You actually brought up her name. This is outside. What are your thoughts on the whole Caitlin Clark thing?
My thought on it is they are giving her a lot of shine. And maybe some of the other girls should get just as much shine, honestly.
Absolutely.
I totally agree with that.
She's driving the bus, but there's other passengers that
There's other passengers there. But what I'm starting to see a lot. Not starting to see, but I've seen that she's not that good. She's not going to be that good. It takes time.
Exactly.
It takes time, man. I was
women in the pros.
I was just talking to someone about this. Like, yeah, Michael Jordan came in, but he shot 40 times, but he still had to adjust. If Phil Jackson didn't come in and sit Michael Jordan down and adjust him to the NBA, then does Michael Jordan have championship? And that's the greatest player of all time and my favorite player. Yeah. But you gotta adjust. For people to say that she's not gonna be good, I think she's good.
Listen, let's just cut to the chase. We have not witnessed anyone with her skills as far as being able to shoot a ball.
No. Does she take some crazy shots?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she takes some crazy shots. But you know what? Sometimes some coaches want you to take those shots. You don't know.
We're in the age of analytics, and I don't think there's no, a team that personifies it as much as the Boston Celtics. Collectively as a team, I think they should be far better than what they are and do a lot more than what they do. But because of the analytical things that are going on, they depend on the analytics more than what they do a lot of their talent. And that's a lot of it has to do with their coach who wants them to get 45 threes up in a game. So when you have the green light from your coach, there's no pushback. What is a good and what is a bad shot? If he's telling you to get up 45 shots, well, coach, you told me to get up 40. You told me to get up. This is one of 45. So in her case, she more times than none, she's going to make those shots in key situations too.
And if you're really watching the games that she's playing, and she's taking wild shots. Her percentage isn't really good right now. She's only 5 games in.
Exactly.
I guarantee you by the end of the year, would you see what her stats are going to look like? And then another thing, if you're a real basketball head, a real coach, you would know it's not her killing that team. He needs plays around her.
So I
Hands
just,
down.
I just,
She makes
I just
everyone better.
I just had this
Only has
discussion.
Leah Boston.
I just had this discussion on a Facebook post with someone. They were like, "Oh, this hype about her, and she's going 5." I said, "So you're really going to go off of a 5-game stint?" I go, "So after 5 games, how did you perceive Wemby?"
There you go.
He didn't win. I believe San Antonio didn't win till the 11th or 12th game. So how could you look at the correlation between the two, right? You've got a generational player in Wemby. Look at Wemby at the beginning of the season. Look at Wemby at the end of the season. All right. Look at his numbers. Yes. You have to. Your talent has to catch up. Yeah, everything.
And it's not just basketball. You got to look at it as just life. Think about it.
Yes.
You didn't know all your ABCs at first.
No. And more importantly, I put it to the person like this. I said, think about it, right? She was the number 1 pick. Your number 1 pick. Where are you going to? You're going to a bad team.
There you go.
Right? You're going to a team where, and I use this analogy, where the toolbox is empty. Right? The toolbox is, let's call it for what
She
it
got
is.
1, 2.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. But
It's just them two.
the toolbox is there. So they're gonna build around her. They're gonna build around her. They're going to see her strengths and her weaknesses, and they're going to fit people around her to uplift her game. And that's what's gonna happen. To crown her GOAT right away, it's unfair.
Yeah,
And it's not her fault.
No.
It's not her fault. A lot of it obviously is media driven. They want to see her, they want to see Caitlin Clark at Iowa jump into the WNBA and they everything to be parallel. They want all her stats to come with her. And this is not possible. Physically, it's not possible.
Doesn't happen in the NBA.
No, it doesn't.
And I think she's playing out of position.
Yeah.
I think if they draft a true point guy,
Yeah.
her natural calling would be the 2 guy.
So she doesn't have to waste
She
a
can
lot of
cover
energy.
screens and
So
catch the ball.
if you notice, they're picking her up. They're picking her up baseline to baseline.
Yes. You can't tell me another girl they're doing that.
Yeah,
You can't tell me
exactly.
another girl.
Exactly.
So she's got respect
yes.
already.
She's got a bullseye on her back. Because height. But I like I said,
Professional joke.
if there's any silver lining that can come out of the Caitlin Clark thing, is okay. It's not her fault that she was thrust into this position, but it's a good spot because of the fact that number 1, she's bringing a lot of attention to the WNBA. With attention becomes sponsors,
The league for herself and for the
interest, and let's face it, right? The WNBA has not had one positive year. They've been in the red every year. This will be the first year
So the NBA
that they make it out of the red. And I said, look, have you? Everybody was like, oh my God, Asia Wilson never got a shoe contract. A week later, she gets a shoe contract.
She said it was in the works for a while.
Yeah, it was in the works.
Yes.
Oh, everyone just jumping the gun.
Exactly.
She
Everybody
won right
wants
away,
to. Yes.
So that's the
Yes.
comparison. She won in college. She won and not the only knock I hear, Caitlin Clark's number 1 now.
Yeah.
But she's an ambassador for the game.
You have to have somebody has to almost be a sacrificial lamb to uplift the league.
Yep.
And then I said, okay, so look at since she's coming to the league, look at the sneaker contracts that have been given out. Okay,
TV revenue. Look at the TV.
look at the TV, look at the sponsors, look at the
You're getting
chartered
ESPN.
flights.
Yeah.
The chartered flights, right?
Yeah, look,
Teams are getting chartered flights now.
they're not flying slip spirit.
yeah. So progress is coming, and there's going to be some, there's going to be some negative feedback, and there's going to be some positive. But
Expansion.
you gotta look at expansion.
Yep.
If you're talking about expansion, they're making money.
Yeah. They're bringing in the Golden State team and a team
2
in
teams,
Canada,
yeah.
Toronto,
And they're talking about possibly in another 2 years adding 2 more teams.
They'll be able to do it. They
So-
got the girls behind Caitlin coming.
Yes. So right then and there, when you talk about expansion, that's like you saying, okay, I'm starting Butler Basketball Association.
I got 10
If-
teams. Whatever.
I got 10 teams, but we're not making any money. we're going to expand. How are you going to expand with no money, with no assets, with no resources? Right?
Yeah.
You can't. And this is what she's doing. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of pushback. Naturally, as an athlete, right? Just think about it, right? Just how you said it earlier. You walked into the gym and they were toasting them dudes, right? You were like, that ain't happening to us, right? That's a competitive spirit. And these women who have been in the WNBA, that's what they said. This chick is coming. She ain't just gonna come in and get all the shine. You know what I'm saying? That's a competitive spirit that's just popping out of them. And the media sees it and they run with it. They put people's pictures up there. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I just see it as it's a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I love it for the female.
Yes.
I love it for the female. It's gonna help them. And then I'll just tell you, we've been like my brother basketball. We always go up to Connecticut at least one time. So we've been up there, and honestly, we like going to those games, man. We like going to the games. I even had two of the girls come and do clinics for Butler basketball in Newport.
Yeah,
in Newport. Why not?
Yeah. Steve has brought this up numerous times. We talk about the WNBA and the WNBA in the way of people who support the WNBA, right? There's not enough females to do it. You are grabbing a whole male portion of followers now, because males now can relate. They're seeing this girl. They're seeing a girl for the first time shooting logo threes.
Female Larry Bird.
I can tell you right now, someone would be lying if they didn't tell me that they wasn't watching the college basketball women's more than the boys this year.
The last 2 years.
Well, we brought this up. Numbers don't lie.
Ratings are higher.
They were higher than the men's. We brought that up on one of our shows. The women were higher rated. So the women were actually so when they were in the final four that weekend, they were beating out NBA games. They were more viewers in the primetime games that they had on TNT and weekend games that they had for the women college. So now you know that you're grabbing a male audience. Take advantage of it. I don't see the pushback and everybody, oh, she's this and she's that. She's not going to be good. 5 games. Come on, really? 5 games.
Not a big
and you can't even really say it even after the first season.
No.
It might take a couple years to develop.
I honestly, this is what I told you. I said, let's revisit this conversation in 3 years.
There you go.
I said in 3 years, she'll probably be playing for a title, or be close to it. Not everybody.
The high draft pick next year.
Not everybody's gonna come in and be a Candace Parker. Not everybody's gonna come in and be a Lisa Leslie. Not everybody.
And you look at it, how good they were, right? But who wants the WNBA now?
And how many teams were there? Right? And so the pot was smaller. It's like the equivalent of when Bill Russell played. There were 14 teams. And the WNBA was like an expansion. It was like a new baby at the time. So the interest in watching, they didn't even have television contracts. It was just one of those things. As time goes, it got a little better, to the point where, where we're at now. So yeah, I just think that, people just need to let it develop. Let it be natural. You don't have to critique every game like it's the last game. You turn and it's like, oh my God, she just got picked and she's on the ground now. Yeah, that's basketball play, But they want to highlight all this stuff. And like you said, the media.
That's good for her. Yeah. It's going to make it tough.
Of course.
Look what happened with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He was getting beat up by Detroit.
Yeah.
He couldn't get by Detroit. What did he do? Went back.
Yeah.
He went in the
motivation.
Weight room. Went in the weight room.
Got stronger.
Got stronger. came back, and look what happened.
Motivation. That's what it all is.
It's all about that. You're gonna do the same thing.
And then he got help in the way of a Scottie Pippen and
You
Horace
build around him.
and all
You
that.
build. You get
No one
build around
person
him.
is great.
It comes in the way of draft picks.
He has no help.
No.
Hands down.
No. And like I said, there's no. You can't get away from. You can't ignore her talent. She shoots the lights out. She's a very smart player. And she does a lot of other things good too. She's a great passer. She's
People don't give enough credit for her pass.
exactly.
Averages a triple double.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So if you go back to this year, you know, she obviously she lit the scoreboard up. She could have lit it up even more. She didn't pass. But in order to win, right? This is her development. Look at Caitlin Clark from last year. And look at Caitlin Clark this year. She knew what it took to go further. And with that being said, I need to get my players involved too. Not just count on Caitlin Clark. I need to get my players involved. Michael Jordan was a prime example. Okay? You go from averaging 38, come down to 33. But you know what? You're winning more. You have to give up something.
Gotta give up.
You know? And that's just how it is. And I think
And you don't have to go to just Michael Jordan.
you could go to a lot of people.
You
A
go
lot
to
of people.
LeBron.
Yeah.
You're gonna win. And what did he have to do? What did he have to do? He had to bring in.
He leaked.
He leaked,
Realize
but
it.
still,
He
yeah.
leaked.
He leaked. I'll take my talents to Miami.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he went where there were other players that were going to, you know, they were going to be attributes. They're gonna help him, you know. And this is it with her. I just wish people would stop trying to elevate the process and speed it up so much. Let it happen. Let her play. Let everything happen. And celebrate the success of the WNBA as one, because her being there is bringing attention to everything. And with that, it's garnering sponsors, television contracts, everything.
It's helping the woman.
Yes, it is.
And they need it. And I'll tell you, like, we were actually in tournament when that was going on yesterday. We had Maiden and all that, and I was like, yo, I'm watching the girls.
Yeah,
I'm not watching
the
boys.
matchups are so much more intriguing.
Yes. And then you know, I really like her. You know, I really like. I met her last summer in California when I got certified out there for Andy.
Oh, Juju's tough.
She was only a
God.
She gets downhill with such ease. I've watched you watch the Tarasis and stuff like that. She's just so smooth about how she does it. There's no wasted motion, no wasted effort.
You should have seen this workout. We got to watch the workout on my car. I came back home. And I told my son, yo, follow this girl on goddamn Instagram. I'm like, who's this? And then they started seeing I was,
That's what I meant when I said Caitlin Clark driving the bus. More help in
Yes.
the ways of
Yes.
the Jujus.
Yeah.
The girl at Notre Dame, Helga Hidalgo.
South Carolina?
Yes.
Yeah.
South Carolina. Yes.
But women's basketball is growing in the college rank, and that's only going to lead to it growing in the professional rank. But Caitlin Clark is the lead that's getting the ball rolling.
Yes. It has to be someone.
Yeah. And you know what I think now for the boys, I could be wrong. NIL.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jump into the NIL.
And
Yes.
they can leave and they
Jump into the
They wanna go-
even all that.
They wanna go- It's all about this now.
Girls just hey,
Yeah.
And that's why you see Kentucky's always losing. They got the one and done.
Yes.
You're not gonna win one and done no more.
Yeah.
It's done and over.
No, it's
You're gonna win with 25, 24 years.
Yeah. Well, Calipari's he's a prime example of it. You think about it, right? He's had the great one and done guys, but they've always underachieved as far as they got a tournament.
I said it to my cousin, and he knows I said it. And I always said it about Calipari. I said he's overrated, and there's not one coach out there that has done less with more.
More. Oh, you know who broke it down really well was I don't agree with a lot of his takes, but some of his takes, I think some of them are outlandish. Was Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp said exactly what you said, and he said, "Hell, I've never been a college coach, but you give me those guys, I could probably win just as many games as he did." And he started naming all the one and dones and how they are in the NBA, draft picks, high lottery picks. He's like, you give me all those guys, I will, he goes, I will do no worse than him. Which is, yeah, exactly. You have natural talent.
And then I hear some people that support, and I hear people like, well, he developed from to the NBA. I'm like, I agree to an extent, but I don't know about that development, because if they want to stay in 1 year, they want to stay in for a couple months.
That's right.
It's their trainers,
yes,
or their coaches in high school are the ones that.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's there doing the college year, but he only gets to like 4 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it.
Yeah,
or a little bit more.
5 months.
You're only playing for that many months, and then you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone.
Who's really developing?
Yeah. He just I think he's a master recruiter, and you're only as good as your number one pick or your lottery pick. And what do? You use that in your bartering tool when you go recruit these kids. I've got Cal. I've got this one. I've got this one. I've got this. I've got. When you're going to get up against some of these other college, well, who does he have that's the number one pick? Who does he have that's been in the top 5 in the last 10 years? And he could point to that. And of course, as a young kid, you're going to be like, yeah, I want to go with that. He led them to the promised land. So yeah, I want to go with that. So you're obviously going to lean more towards him.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not, some mid-major coach comes in and talk about, yeah, we've got this, we got that. Well, how many NBA players you got? I don't have any.
and never mind, not just on top of that, now back to the NIL.
Yeah.
Play this game.
Yeah.
Man, it's a lot of money.
Yes.
This NIL.
Yes. So it goes back to, so you got to think about it, right? The NIL is a game changer because you start thinking about teams like Kentucky, all right? Their strength is obviously in basketball.
So they're gonna have a big pot.
Yes, but think about the schools who are hand in hand, are like good. Teams like in the last 4 to 5 years, teams like Florida, right? Teams like Florida that are good in football, and now Florida basketball. If you're I can't say mid-major, but if you're a Division I school and your athletics are, you can't have one up here and like a Duke. You can't be like in basketball here and then football way down here. If your sports are like up to par and in the middle, you got one that's and you can get. It's going to be a game changer. You're going to see a lot of these blue chip schools start to fall by the wayside because no longer are you just going off of, oh, so and so won here. We're talking money now.
Money, yeah.
Money is a game changer.
Look at who's the UNC winning for? I can say right now. Yeah, I think he's gonna come out of the draft. He's not gonna go. But he sat up and he straight said it.
Not the point guard.
No. There's some dude. I think he's like, nah, it's not a thing. I don't want to go back to college. I'm looking for a rookie deal. There you go.
Yeah. It's all the power now is literally out of the hands of the coaches, and it's in the players.
And that's why you're seeing a lot of these great coaches retire.
Yeah.
They're retired. You're telling me Roy Williams is still retired? Nope.
Yeah, no.
Coach K, nope. All
It
these guys,
just happened in
Alabama.
Football, yeah.
Nick Saban,
He came.
everybody's caught up to him, and he doesn't have the advantage of being the big fish anymore.
He came out openly and he said it. He came out openly and said it. I can't compete. I can't compete with a lot of these schools now because of the NIL deals that they're getting. We can't keep up with it.
And then none of their coaches are better now.
No. It's a game changer. And once again, The new coaches coming up, it'll be part of their life. But the old coaches, the coaches that have been here for 20, 25 years, they're not used to this. And they're like, wait a second, I can't even coach a kid anymore because he's talking about making $1.5 million. That was never in my stable.
And that's only half of the problem. The other half is
Well, yeah, that's all part of it. Yeah,
You let the coaches leave every year.
that's right.
You gotta allow them
It's all part.
I committed to you. Now you're not there.
It's all part of it, and it's something that we're seeing. And just what you said, you hit the nail on top of the head. A lot of the old coaches are standing for it. They're like, you know what? And how can you coach a kid, right? Literally, I got an NIL deal for $1.5 million, right? And do this, do that, do that. There's really no repercussion. I'm making $1.5 million. I'm probably going to be a lot of repercussions. How much am I really going to listen to you? Especially if I'm only staying for 1 year.
You're not even staying for the 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about it. Basketball players, they're staying in once basketball's over there.
Yeah, they're gone.
They're starting their training.
They're gone.
They're already starting their training as soon as they're done.
Yeah, they're out.
They're going out to Asia, the whole nine. So they're not even finishing their semester.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally different now. But once again, here we are. We're at a different point in life, and the new regime.
Very right.
What is he saying? The NIL is individualistic. It's not about team success. It's about individual success. Schools that have the most money to offer win. The teams that don't lose, the college game will be compromised. Yes.
We all went to the school at the same time, and Randy was the big fish. He has an NIL deal, but the rest of us don't.
Yeah.
So he went to where he was getting the most money. That doesn't give you the best team.
Yeah. And the crazy part about it, and it's most evident when we watch college basketball. A lot of the mid majors are starting to catch up now because these kids are staying. These kids are staying for years. You're getting starters that literally go from freshman all the way up to their senior year. They get bigger, they get stronger, and they have the longevity thing of playing with kids. I shouldn't say kids, young men for 4 years.
Yes, boys that came out of high school.
Yes. And like I said, it's all part of. All this is all intertwined with NIL, transfer portal, everything. How everything changed. And once again, these coaches didn't want to see this because now they're powerless unless you go to a school with a lot of NIL money.
That's true.
Otherwise, Tabaz. Yeah.
I agree with you, man. If Caitlin eats, everyone's about to eat.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
And not even Diana Taurasi and them. I understand, but why be jealous? She's grown the league that you guys couldn't grow to
Absolutely.
that level. Y'all gonna make more money if you hang around because she's gonna open the TV contracts, speaker deals, all that stuff is gonna put more money in the pot.
All she's doing is she's driving the bus to the money pot.
And that's what I'm saying.
There's no need to be.
More than happy to let somebody increase my earnings.
If somebody came to my job, and as a result, they came to my job, and they were going to increase the overall production, which was going to increase salary output. I love you. I love you. I could still play my same game and do everything, and I'm going to get a raise. So what is there to be, literally, what is there to be mad about? I don't, you do you play your game, and let her, if she's going to be the face, so be it. Just realize one thing, right? She can only be the face for she could be the face during the regular season, but when it comes to postseason, who's going to be on TV? Or who's going to be carrying that trophy? You know what I'm saying? And then you walk off with an MVP, it only raises your stature, right?
Exactly.
You're in line for a pay raise. So yeah, it's just every week is something different, and every week you see different responses or whatever.
What's up, Mike?
Microphone.
Yeah, man, you gave me like 10 texts.
Yeah. What do you say? Watch how many coaches. It's already started. It's already started. I think they saw the light before it actually came with the NIL. Yeah. They all saw the light before. As soon as that transfer portal opened, you lost control right there. The party was over. And then you don't have to wait. That was like a punishment. That was like a punishment. That's like, I don't have to wait a year. I don't have to wait. Yeah. The transfer portal. That was the beginning of the end, and then the cherry on the top was NIL. So yes, college sports is going to be coming. And like I said, obviously the coaches who had 1,000 years in, they can't. They're not used to that. They're not used to it. Not used to it at all. So I every time we have a guest here, I always try to the Jordan and LeBron thing, but I know where you stand. I know where you stand. I know where you stand.
You know what my standing on it is, honestly? LeBron's maybe the greatest all around.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's the greatest.
What? I give LeBron. He gets the longevity award. He gets the all around player award, and to me, it stops there. I couldn't give him.
I'm also old school in the sense that, like I tell people, that gets a straight against me. I would never want to go join Beckett
to play.
Enjoy playing against
No, I want to play against New Beckett. I want to beat New Beckett. That's one of the keys. I'm not gonna. I'm a
jump the super.
Like this company. Think about it. Oh, yeah, Mr. Gerber, put me on that.
Yeah.
For what? I want to beat them. No, I have more in me. If I lose, I lose.
He doesn't have that. To me, and it's evident when you see other people taking shots in key times. He doesn't have that Kobe killer instinct. He doesn't have that Michael killer instinct. He defers a lot. And I think that hurts him a lot too in the overall GOAT thing. For me, it's real simple. It's the eye test. Just look at the players. If let's just line 3 players up, all right? Let's line Mike, Kobe, LeBron. Who's your first pick?
Michael Jordan.
But I tell people that all the time. I say, line those 3 players up, and you see where LeBron gets picked. A lot of the younger kids. I think it's a generational thing. I think it's obviously a general, because obviously kids didn't get to see Michael Jordan play, so all they can relate to is maybe Kobe or LeBron. So they don't see it. But if you are old enough to see it and see it all the way through, obviously we're old enough that we've watched Kobe. We watched Michael, we've watched Kobe, and now we're at the end of so we can literally give a true evaluation of all the players. The kids, kids that you're LeBron's the GOAT. They didn't get a chance to see him play.
When my sons were like that, and then I sat them down and I showed the video of Michael Jordan. They got on kicked out.
Yeah. So the kids, that I coached did the same thing, and I said, you know what, just go YouTube and watch. I said, all you got to do is watch maybe about 10 minutes, and then you could see the different style of play between LeBron and Mike. The athleticism to me is leaps and bounds. I think LeBron he's got got a great obviously a great athletic body, which in turn has helped him to maintain for the 20 plus years. Um, bigger and stronger, bigger and stronger than anybody. So he does a lot of bully ball, getting downhill, and nobody can get in front of him. Mike could, you could be the biggest guy, and he'd still get around you, over you,
And
shoot.
he was going to take
Yes.
the shot. He couldn't do nothing to
Yes,
stop
and
him.
you could send two guys at him, and he's gonna figure it out.
Taking the last shot.
LeBron, on the other hand, can't do that. It's not in his DNA. To a certain extent, he gets cut there. If I say okay, push LeBron to his left with a double team, will he be able to finish? And 9 out of 10 times, he's going to swing that ball. He's not going to force the issue. And you couldn't say that with Kobe or Mike.
And the advantage that Kobe and Mike had over him too. Not only did they dominate on offense, they could shut down the other team's top player.
Yep.
No matter what. So if I can dominate on both ends, Michael Jordan was player of the year and all defensive team every year.
Yeah.
He played Gary Payton one series. It didn't matter if you were the point guard, the off guard. Michael Jordan took that challenge on defense.
Yeah.
And you couldn't stop him. He played both ends. So did Kobe.
And then the pushback you get now from a lot of people was like, oh, look at the competition he played against.
Look how much more physical it was when Mike had a play.
I tell them, I said, listen, back in that, you used to be able to put two hands in the back.
I tell you that all the time.
Hand check.
Different.
Yeah.
If you're telling me I can take both of my hands and and thrust them in your back and not be effective defensively, that's wild. That's wild to me. Nowadays it's just one hand, it's a forearm. Obviously, you can use your forearm. Back in the day, it was two hands.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I tell people. I'm like, when they always talk about errors and that, I was like, yeah, every error is always going to change. They're going to talk about this and talk about that, and then they go back to talking about Jordan won the average this. I'm like, let me tell you something.
Oh, today's
Let me tell you something.
Jesus.
He averaged 30 something with two hands in his back.
Yes.
If you can't touch him now, you lost your mind. If you don't, not getting another 20 per game.
Oh.
He's getting at least 10 at the free throw line. And then he's going to get another 10 somewhere.
He can play in today's era. Today's era players can't go back and play in that physical era. I can't see them guys taking the pounding because they complain to me. You can't touch me. They want to cry for fouls. LeBron, I don't think he has the physical being, but his style, he complains about every time he gets touched down.
And there's
Imagine playing Lampier
and there's low man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God.
That's
God.
horrible. It's horrible.
Top dollar.
They can't even play.
$55 games a year.
They can't even play a full 80
And then
game season.
I honestly think they could be probably. I think they could adjust. I think LeBron would adjust to the NBA back then.
Yeah, because
I just don't think he would be
as dominant.
as dominant.
Yeah, because of his physical stature.
Because he's big, but shit. You also got Karl Malone that's big.
Yeah.
You got Charles Barkley that was going to take your
Imagine
head
you
off.
going down the lane and
Bill
Oakley hit you,
Laimbeer.
or Laimbeer hit
No.
you.
He's
How
out.
much time you want to still keep going down the lane?
He's out now if he gets hit hard. So like 4 games. Imagine that.
Yeah.
There you go.
You
But
gotta-
I do think he'd adjust. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah. Because
I think
he-
Kevin Durant could.
Yeah, he
Then
can.
too.
There-
There's a couple guys that
there's always and each era that could I mean, if you've got the talent, it's just a matter of adjusting to it. Not everybody could, but I think a lot of players could. But like I said, to get a true representation, I think you have to see. All those players play. Like, I couldn't give a fair representation on Bill Russell because I've never witnessed him play.
I never did.
I go back and I try to watch some of the film, and
There's only 18, 12 games in the league.
that's what I'm talking
I don't
about.
know how true it was. I heard there was only like 10 guys. Him and Wilt, right? Something like that.
Yeah, there wasn't very many. There wasn't very many big guys back then. But it, like you said, that's the argument they try to use with Jordan. Well, look, he was playing against Karl Malone, against John Stockton, and look who was covering him when he played against Utah. Who's that guy, the mailman? And I'm like, listen, these guys were pros. I said, how many guys there's nothing more evident than when you watch what Brian Scalabrine did. Remember what he did? He said, "Oh, guys call me scrub." He said, "But let me tell you something." He said, "The last guy on the bench will be able to go to any college and put it on." One of the best college players, and he did that. He had guys calling him out. He sought him out. I said, "Okay, let's go to the gym. I'm a scrub," and he made him look foolish.
Yo, people don't understand those scrubs.
Yeah.
They still play.
Well, you gotta
They still
understand.
play.
You gotta understand, right? So, on any given roster, right? You have 15 guys, but you have those allotted guys, the two-way guys, and all that stuff. So you may be down to 13 guys on any given day, or whatever the case may be. Just think about the percentages of the guys drafted that end up making the NBA. It's like 1 out of like 7. It's like the highest ratio of all sports. It's like 700 something thousand.
It's crazy.
Yes. So just think about it. If you're that 14th guy, you've hit the lottery. You beat the numbers. So yeah. Mike saying that it's something about Russell, right?
8 7-footers.
Well, there was only 8 teams. Everybody had one.
8 7-footers were also played. Yeah, we get it. But my point was, I can't give I can't give a full representation on Bill Russell because I never seen him play,
Yeah, that's
and
how I feel.
and I never saw the development from him to start to end.
That's how I feel.
So I can't accurately give a description. I can only go off of, so when they talk about GOAT, I talk about the guys that I seen play. I can't refer to anyone prior to my time. And people are like, "Oh, you forgot about?" I can't. I'd be lying.
Oscar Robertson.
I'd be lying.
Heard
Yeah,
he's good.
yeah. I'd be
I
lying.
never seen him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never seen him.
I'd be lying. So I said, you know what? That's another debate. But out of the players that I've seen and I've witnessed, this is what I'm going to tell you and how I see it. I can't go back in time. I wasn't born. I was too young to see X, Y, and Z play. So I just leave it. I say, okay, out of these people, who would you consider GOAT? But yeah, this is something we always ask at the end of our interviews. But clearly, I know where you stand on
Yo,
that.
you already know. You
I
already
know
that.
I know.
And I just want to say, man, Decon, where the hell are you at tonight?
He's scared.
He
He got
just
scared.
ran wild for 3 weeks.
So the schedule came out, and I told last week he wasn't here. So I said, "Oh, you're running already because you seen the Cowboys and the Lions when they played." I said, "You're scared. You're nervous."
Oh,
I'm a Bulls fan, so he has nothing to say about
Well, you guys would have been good today with the Bulls. So one more question before we leave, and I just made this question up. In your lifetime, who do you think has a better chance of winning the title, the Bulls or the Commanders?
repeat that.
In your lifetime remaining, who do you see winning a title first, the Bulls or the Commanders?
Commanders.
Ooh,
Commanders.
really?
Commanders.
New ownership group.
I don't know. It's funny because one of my best friends down there, Johnny Cass, he's a Cowboy fan, and we go back and forth too. And I've been telling him, like, I feel good since we got new ownership, and then that new GM, like, he's a problem. That new GM is like, and then every single move. You're not a Commanders fan, but I'm on it every day. I'm getting tweets, the whole 909. No, he just that front office is no problem now. There's a lot of championship in that front office. We took dude from Baltimore, their number one scouting guy. We took San Fran's, like 4 of their guys. We got Atlanta's, Detroit, Degon. Yep, we just took Detroit. like he's building something there. Like I really think that he'll get one before Chicago. Just for the Chicago owners, man, he's just stingy, man. He's just stingy, man. He doesn't want to do it the right way. And it's harder in basketball. I think it's harder in basketball than it is football. Football, that salary cap. You can do some things with the salary cap. Basketball, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
It is.
It's tough. And then how many people wants to play in Chicago?
Yeah.
I think that's the number
It
one
has to be.
flaw.
It has to be. You have to be able to attract. And if you're unable to attract, if it's not a premium destination with either the locale or people who are currently playing, then you're up the creek.
The number one problem in Chicago is no one wants to play there because of Michael Jordan. Like,
Yeah, it's a tough act to follow up.
Yeah, and
Um,
the Commanders, I really think I'll see one. And I just said it. I wish I had it on my phone. I just said it the other day. I was like, the Commanders will win another championship before the Cowboys.
ooh,
Yeah, you heard it first.
it's a lot there.
You heard it first.
Listen. So we're here every Thursday, and you're more than welcome to tune in. We usually here from 6 to 8. We usually here from 6 to 8. Feel free during
Thursdays.
the
I'm at
season.
practice once my age.
But it's
stops over, yeah, I'll be
but this it's on the timeline. It'll stay. The recording will stay on forever. So basically, you can see it. We have a page.
But he'll eventually see this, and then he'll use comments coming late, maybe 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, you lucked out tonight, Deacon. You know, I thought you were shook up there.
Bob Deep.
And what's up, New Bedford, man? What's up, New Bedford? Everyone out there, man.
But yeah, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Once again, congratulations on the award. That's something to treasure, man. I hope you got some great pictures up there.
Yeah, we do, man. We just keep keep them in the vault, man.
Yeah.
In the vault, yeah.
That's something to treasure. Being recognized by a professional sports team, especially one from your area. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
For riding
you
out,
guys, man. It's great to see you guys.
Before we leave, let people know how they could get in touch with you, how about your program, any plugs that you want to put in.
You can reach Butler Basketball at butlerbasketballclub.com, or you can email us at butlersAAU@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, but I barely even go on there, honestly. That's more than kids. I just did that to help the kids.
Running that.
Yeah, more for the kids to put out some videos and stuff like that. Or if you got my phone number, just call me. I'm available all the time, and we just do what we do, man. I'm doing it till I can't do it no more. Kids are our future.
What I like about somebody of your persona, you poured everything into your athletic career and your playing career, and you still have more to give. So Father Time catches up with all of us.
Yeah.
I can't physically get out there no more, but you still have it up here to say, how can I make other people love the game like I did? How can I improve things? So I think that's why you're finding the success that led to that award, is because you've always had that passion burning in you as a player, and now you have it as an organizer and a coach, and I applaud you for that, because we need more people like you to take on that type of challenge to develop our youth and keep them on a positive track. Well, you're doing it out in Providence. We got people trying to do it here.
Newport, man.
I'm sorry, Newport.
Come on, Newport.
Yeah.
Over the bridge.
Newport. I love Prov, but we're in Newport. If I'm not doing it, who's going to do it? Honestly?
Yeah.
Well, we need more people to have that same, because I'm sure you could use some help if some other people had passion like you did.
I can always use help.
Take it to a whole nother.
I can always use help. I can
Yes,
coaches.
but somebody that isn't like you're in it.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
Now you can delegate and say, okay, you handle that. I'm going to go develop this whole new opportunity because I know how to trust you on that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like with Marvin. He was there with me from the beginning, and so, he's still with me no matter what. Like, I wear Marvin right here on my wrist every day, right here, Marvin. But he was there. It didn't matter if I'd be like, I can't go to practice. When you do this, Mom's there. And the same thing with him. Like, his sons are my godsons. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Miss that dude.
Yeah. Rest in peace, man. But yes, thank you for coming. We're gonna wrap the show up, and who knows? Maybe we'll have you back to update.
I'll come back for sure.
Yeah,
come back for sure. You guys know that, man.
Yeah, to update. What you've been up to lately. We'll definitely
Especially
call you back.
Deacon's here.
Oh yeah, I definitely got to be on here with Deacon's in here.
We'll definitely call you back. But once again, thank you for coming. We're gonna end the show.
Thank you for having me.
And yes, thank you everybody for called in, left comments. We appreciate it. And if you're just catching the show, you can always tune in to one of the pages, Straight to the Point page, sports page. You can always tune into my Facebook. It is also on Randy's page now. You can always refer back to it and see the interview in its entirety. We're gonna sign off. There's a little game on that we gotta go watch.
I'm going to sleep.
There's a little game that we got to go watch, so we got to sign off and get ready for the Celtics. All right,
Mike, don't be giving no text.
Until next week, we're out of here, and we'll, as always, follow, like, download WMB1 Radio. I put a link up for the Android users. Steve, you can follow as well since you deleted the last app. The iPhone app is up and running, available on the Play Store. Android, I have a link up for it. We have to get so many downloads. If we get so many downloads first, it'll be taken out of test production and be put on the store. Up until then, it probably won't be available, but I have the link for it, in which you can go and download it. All right. Until next week, we're out, and everybody have a great night, and go Celtics. We're out.
I would like to introduce.
Okay, let's go.
New online radio station.